It is rare to see genuine kindness in this world. To some, the current state in society, especially that on social media, it can be hard to see people being nice and genuinely open to one another. That is why I think Won't You Be My Neighbor is one of, if not the best film of 2018. For those who don't know, this documentary examines the hidden life and successful career of ordained minister turned television personality Fred Rogers, as it discusses the impact of his show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, on life, society, and ultimately on himself. While there isn't a lot of twists in the story, what I found myself experiencing more often than not in the storytelling aspect was a mix of delight and sorrow. What makes this film work for me is the deep psychological dive into the mind of Rogers, how he operates using puppets, his feelings about education and child development, and his religious philosophy that ultimately played into his life and career. It genuinely filled me with delight every time I learned about how dedicated he really was to making the world a happy place. I know from the sounds of it I might be overhyping the film, but by the actions done by Rogers in the past, it truly makes me all the more sad that we as a culture lost such a great person. The film itself doesn't shy away from some of the big discussions to be had, such as racism, the fact that one of his cast members was gay, and although brief, they actually touch upon the controversy in the late 90s, how talking heads on mainstream media networks accused Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood for making the current generation feel entitled because of what he said to everyone, and that was everyone was special. I could elaborate more on this, but I would rather have you see the film for yourself. Another great thing they talk about in the film is the constant struggle between Rogers' own show and the increasing amounts of uneducational, loud shows, as he likes to put them. Hell, there is even one point where Mr. Rogers returns to his own show because of the rise of superhero films and cartoons in the 70s and early 80s. While this may sound like he has this holier-than-thou complex, he really wasn't acting out in anger. He was just kind of frustrated with it, because he genuinely cared about the safety and raising of children. There is one thing, however, that is a tiny little nitpick, and that is the pacing of the film. It starts off a little bit slow, but as the film continues, I find myself getting into it more and more. I would have liked to have seen a little bit more of Rogers' own developments, but for what I got out of the film, I wasn't too disappointed. Won't You Be My Neighbor is a film that is as relevant as ever. It is a film that is heartwarming as it is touching and insightful. This is definitely the feel-good film of the year. I highly recommend running out to an art cinema ASAP or wait until it comes out on DVD in September, and I am going to give this film an A.